All right. I've been book tagged by ADDMeetsInsomnia. She wanted to see what was in the underground vault of the ADDMeetsInsomnia family library, so I rummaged around down there this afternoon and came up with a few things that might be of marginal interest. We'll start out with this one here. This was published in 1933 by James Waterman Wise, Swastika, the Nazi Terror, right immediately after Hitler became Chancellor and all the doings of the Brown Shirts, but before the Night of the Long Knives, giving a very brief summary of what was going on at that particular moment. What else we got over here? This is Underground Russia by Stepniak. That was a nom de guerre of a member of the People's Will revolutionary group. He used to belong to Isidore Bragiotti on Beacon Street in New York in 1888. The book itself, you can get a title page here, but you can't really see, published 1885. All right. We can get the camera to stabilize. All right. This one here. Peasantry of Palestine. And by Palestine, they mean what is now Israel. This is published in 1908. It's a very good description of what it was then called Western Palestine. It gives a ethnography, social history of villages that have been since eradicated. So if there's anyone who is of Palestinian descent and wants to find where a home village might have once been, this would be a pretty good guide. What else we got here? This one, barely see it, Republic or Empire. This was a compilation of congressional debates. Subtitle is The Philippine Question, published in 1899. You might remember Patrick Buchanan had a book out of that same title a few years ago, and this is where he lifted it from, was from this particular book. Stuff in here from William Jennings Bryan and Adlai Stevenson Sr., Senator Hoare, spelled differently than you think. Things of that nature. What else we got? This is Gilbert Shelton's The Adventures of Fat Freddy's Cat, very rare collector's item by Ripoff Press in California. Item of interest, Jules Dubois' Fidel Castro. This was published in 1959. Rebel, Liberator, or Dictator? Interesting on the back cover. There's a personal letter from El Comandante himself on the letterhead of the Revolutionary General Command of the Republic of Cuba, dated February 14th, 1959. Mr. Jules Dubois, I understand that you are writing a book entitled Fidel Castro, Rebel, Liberator, or Dictator. I do not know what you will write, and I do not know what opinions you will express in the book. Every person in the Society of Free Nations, and even those who are oppressed under the heels of dictators, has a right to express his or her opinion. Under the tyranny of Fulgencio Batista, that right was denied to the people of Cuba. It is the duty of every newspaperman to report the news, for only with freedom of the press can there be political freedom. Should your book contain errors, and should your opinions expressed therein be mistaken or unjust, I shall not hesitate to express my own opinion about the contents of the book when it is published. Signed, Fidel Castro Ruz. All right. Goddamn fucking camera. Hey, I'll do a Gary rant. Goddamn piece of shit. Okay. Have here The City of the Saints by the famous African explorer Burton, Richard F. Burton, not to be confused with the movie actor. This is, however, about the Mormon theocracy of Utah, or as it was then known, the Republic of Desiree. Copyrighted in London in 1861 by Longman, Green, Longman, and Roberts. The City of the Saints, and Across the Rocky Mountains to California. And I'll make this kind of short. I have more, but I won't drag this out. This is Anarchy and Anarchists by Captain Shack. It's ghostwritten by him. He's the man that is credited with breaking the so-called Haymarket Anarchist conspiracy. This was published in 1889. Anarchy and Anarchists, A History of the Red Terror and the Social Revolution in America and Europe. Communism, Socialism, and Nihilism in Doctrine and in Deed. The Chicago Haymarket Conspiracy and the Detection and Trial of the Conspirators by Michael J. Shack, Captain of Police, City of Chicago, published in Chicago, dedicated to the hanging judge and the prosecutor who sent 4 of these men to the gallows a couple of years before this book was published, profusely illustrated. There we see Lucy Parsons, the wife of Albert Parsons, the principal of the trial. Okay, and that just gives you a short tour of the Azov library. So it's back on you. Come up with whatever you can. I'll bring this to a merciful conclusion.